back to some professional StarCraft Brood War. Remastered for your pleasure and those who play it for many years. And let me introduce those who should know. Some you might recognize, and by there are two players. It's a one-on-one. I don't know why I'm acting like there are 25 players in the match. No. In the bottom left, the Terran. A streamer, an icon, and a consummate professional. It's C. But can he see a way to beat the evaporated and accumulated and precipitated version of himself in the top right? The SC1 into SC2 into SC1 player. He wears all the hats well. It's Rain. What got me about Rain, and now this is a match from relatively, I think, a 2018, it doesn't matter. After Rain returned to Brood War, and before it, he's had the same style. He's one of the few players who managed to go from have success in StarCraft 2 and then return to Brood War. I'm not going to get into what that means for SC2. Oh my god. Okay, Jimmy. I get it. I get it. We have the technology. Somehow there's a better observing UI most of the time here. But a lot of players like Flash, Jaedong, they did well in SC2. But I'd say Rain was probably the most successful. Thank you. The most successful out of Brood War players to have their foray into SC2. But we're back here now. South Korea, big fans of the Brood War and continue to be to this day, so it makes a lot of sense for these players, if they've still got it, to continue to play. Terran versus Protoss. Now, I know a lot of people have a lot of strong thoughts about this this matchup. We're on Circuit Breaker, which is a map nobody can complain about, but they'll still find a way. We're in cross position, so maximum distance away. I mean, at the end of the day...
Fuck this game, man.
No. Terran versus Protoss comes down a lot to... Can the Terran player survive well in the early game and maybe get some damage on themselves to get to 3 bases and find a timing push, or to max out? The threats of just early Dragoons with range... The Goon Squad and their Singularity Charge sounds a lot fancier. As well as early Reavers. And then later on, everybody's favorite, armies. Arbiters recalling into the major threats. So, unlike in SC2, it's more the Protoss that is trying to slow down and pressure the Terran than the other way around. In StarCraft 2, it's more the Protoss is building up a death ball, and the Terrans doing whatever they can to make sure that it doesn't come together. Roles are a bit reversed here. Probe scouting around. SCV takes a look. Rain. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention Rain style. Rain style in both SC1 and SC2 was remarkably, we'd call him a shield Protoss today. Players like Stats and Showtime, and yes, I'm speaking mostly to StarCraft 2 players because that's mostly who watches me, because if you were actually a solid SC1 player, well then, I'm sure you'll let me know, for one, after you like and subscribe, and two, you probably stopped watching already. So, go back to Artosis' stream, and you can complain all you want, or get banned and then maybe unbanned. I don't know what his whole process is. If it works for him, who am I to judge? Can I get rid of this thingy? Oh, I could have just gotten rid of that the whole time. It's gonna be... Is that Spider Mines? A Spider Mine, not even really a rush, just getting the Spider Mines out early. Gives you an option for dealing with Quick Dark Templar. Let's see. The tech is a robotics facility, a boring choice. But that's classic Rain there. Making sure you stay safe, you stay defensive. Not trying to sneak anything past C over here. And it looks like we've got a macro game. Neither player willing to commit to anything aggressive early. Barely even poking with the workers. A single vulture comes in, takes a look around and sees, okay, I'm not too worried about it. Now, vulture made it back with more than half HP, lays down some whittle mines. Sorry. Much better. Spider mines, I do apologize. Spider mines, you only get one shot. And those vultures have to lay them down, but controls a lot of space on the map. And if you're caught without observers, as a Protoss, you're going to have a bad time. If you don't target fire or make sure you stay at a decent range, you're going to have a bad time. If you drop zealots on their tanks and there are a bunch of spider mines around because they were a little careless, you're going to have a good time. So, we'll see what kind of time that Rain is going to have. What is this? It seems like it's kind of hiding here at the edge. A robotics support bay. Riva? Could it be? Would it be? No observatory. Oh, the observatory's in the... He's hiding his tech in the corners. Making sure a scan can't easily get a hold of it. A Reaver play to open things up, but here, the tank's moving out from sea. A few Marines as well. We've seen this push in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. The Vulture's leading the way, looking for an opportunity. Oh, just getting some spider mines and driving on past. Another set. This should keep him busy. Rain, does he have the observers to deal with it? He should, but the tank push is on the way across. So if Rain doesn't have, I don't know if he has a Twilight Council for Zealot legs, and the Reavers aren't out yet. A bit of a wall off to help deal with the potential vultures, but right now this push is shaping up to be dangerous. Gonna have the high ground, the low ground for Rain with the mineral-only base. I guess he could give it up. That's not nearly enough Dragoons. That is just 4 Dragoons versus 4 tanks and everything else in front. Protoss ain't that good. A couple tanks gonna siege up. The Dragoons coming together. A couple Zealots in front. Nexus already at half HP. Down it goes. So, a bit of a freebie there. The shuttle, a Reaver's about to complete. So, the Reaver, a dangerous creature. He'll probably start building the Scarabs and then pop it into the shuttle. There you go. There's not that much anti-air. He kills, there you see it. C kills his own spider mine just to make sure it doesn't get dragged into his tanks. And the Robobay has yet to be revealed. That could be a Zealot drop. It could be Reavers. This case, it's both. But then the Reaver pops out. The tanks were unsieged. Gets a shot off here. Oh, all the tanks. Well, 2 tanks at the front going down. The Scarabs and the friendly fire. Rain finding the precise amount that he needed to clean that up without losing essentially anything. Meanwhile, Rain has expanded a little bit to the south. This has given C the space he needed to get a third, though. And that's most of what I think he's not expecting to win the game with this tank push. But it's nice it killed a base and it held that position. But he's got to be a little careful not to get surrounded and killed. Yeah, he's pulling back with his tanks. There's some spider mines out there precariously close. The probes. Okay, so spider mines, they only care if your unit is stomping around on the ground. If it hovers, like all workers, vultures, and some other select units, I don't know if Templar, like high Templar count, then it doesn't hit them because it doesn't activate its sensors or I don't know, whatever. Riva! Get some big hits. A big clump of Marine. We don't know exactly how many, but the blood tells us enough. Oh, the Reaver's coming in again. Find a couple. Oh, takes some shots. The Goliath already badly bruised. Down it goes. SCV as well. Reaver finding more damage. Getting some hits off. Shuttle getting out. The turret struggling to keep up. Goes to the corner, looking for an opportunity. Gets another round of Scarabs. Gotta be careful not to drop it on spider mines. I'm not sure if you can dodge it out of the spider mine, like, with the scamper attack, but I wouldn't risk it if I had something so valuable. Not that Rain should necessarily take my advice, but... And now we're settling into the more standard part of Terran versus Protoss. We got the Protoss banging on the door, and the Terran trying to hold it, at least until he can get some up. Where's my production tab? Oh, there we go. We got +1, or is that +1? Yeah, +1 vehicle weapons. Reavers finding more opportunities. Scarabs flying out. Gets a tank. Another one a little bit overzealous. Speaking of zealous, we got some zealots. The Reavers... Wait, where did the zealots come from? Wait, it's only 1 Reaver and 2 zealots. Okay. Meanwhile, an attack into the 3rd, but there's a lot of tanks here. Rain not quite... Oh, is that a dud? Oh, wait. Oh, did that... No, it's a dud. All right, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Oh, the beauty of Brood War. So, some shots going out, hitting some things, also trying to hit other things. It's unclear exactly when they're all going to hit. SCV's going home. Still very little anti-air to deal with this. There's still a turret in the corner. He wanted to get rid of it, but with that turret there, more spider mines, big hits on the SCVs. I'm trying to scroll. It's not working. Oh no, I think how did I break the UI of the game? Okay, well, just not worry about that. Apparently I broke something. Just like, did it hit? No. It scared those SCVs though. Those SCVs are very unhappy. They're really stressed out right now. There's a 20% chance you'll be fine. An 80% chance you and all your friends will die. Anyways, speaking of, a double shuttle drop right on top of the tanks as Rain is bashing through into the 3rd. Meanwhile, the drops in the main will continue. Rain with a full-fledged attack on both fronts. C is forced to retreat from his own 3rd, feeling a little bit of deja vu on the other side of things here. The tank, is that Reaver drop? He got the Reaver drop, right? Wait, is that, which one has the Reaver? I don't know where the Reaver drop went. It's gone though. Okay. Wait, is it? No, it lived! I can't believe it lived. After all of that. Well, +1 is done for C. A look at the supply shows it's not too bad. Oh, that's a lot of gateways. This is not your quick RB toss here. You got Zealots, you got Dragoons, Gateway Man is coming to town, and with him, those Zealots are down to clown. Templar Archives on the way as well. The time of Reavers has ended. Now it's time for brute force. I mean, he might still make some Reavers, but he's got the 1 Reaver in the shuttle. Some more Zealot bombs as well. Spider-Man set up as C prepares for the next wave of the assault. Rain, almost all is... Oh, Spider-Man's finding some big hits. There's not that much anti... Oh, the Reaver! Kind of just dies. I think I got 1 Scarab buff. The Zealot bombs on some of the tanks, but this seems like a bit of an ill-fated attack. Disjointed, discombobulated, and now eliminated. Meanwhile, three Vultures getting in towards the mineral lines, but Rain has made efforts to make sure that doesn't become too big of a threat. Apparently, this is a wall. All right, I look closely, and yep, checks out. Vultures can't get there. That's the... Okay. Sure. That 1 Vulture has an entire goon squad coming after it. Down it goes. The probes safely pass over. Yep. Okay, yeah. You gotta check, like, there's a certain... Unlike SC2, where there are, like, 3 or 4 unit sizes, there's, like, 1 is, like, your workers, 2 is things like stalkers and immortals, 3 is, like, archons, and 4 is your mother. Whereas in Brood War, every unit seems to have its own specially tailored mechanics, where there's a lot of juking and jiving and slipping and sliding going on. Meanwhile, probes trying to transfer, but guess what? The Vultures are here. Gonna have to clear out these spider mines. You don't actually want the probes to go first, because then they're all gonna die horribly to the Vultures. Cannon's not quite done, and you know what that means. That probe is very stressed out right now. Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Probably won't be fine. If that probe lives, then Rain wins this game, I think. Okay, well that... Alright, well that doesn't really decide anything there, does it? Another round of Vultures is coming in. The goons making their way down. trying to deal with it, but another round of spider mines is set up. 70 workers apiece. Rain ahead on supply, but it's in those gateway units. Storm is on the way. Zealot legs as well, to be able to close the distance faster and not need those shuttles to ferry him around like a particularly complicated chauffeur. Meanwhile, I have no idea who wins this. The battle continues. Pretty sure the Dragoon wins. Yeah, I'm pretty confident now. Meanwhile, C is upgrading +2, +1. Which is, in my experience, usually the timing where, 1, you want to be maxing out, and that's kind of far off. And 2, it's time to push. Max out and push before the Protoss can tech up even further and start running you in circles. We're near, Rain is at 200 supply. It's not going to get any better for C than it is momentarily. The more supply you can get to 200, there's no reason for Rain to wait now. He's got a Stargate on the way. I'm not sure if it's back at home. Yeah, the Stargate's back at home. Fleet Beacon's probably next on the agenda. And then the Arbiters start coming out. Then things start getting complicated. You don't want things complicated. You want simple. Alright? As a Terran player, simple man, simple farmer. What you want to find is a good, solid engagement before all these fancy Protoss things come out. That is a lot of Protoss, though. Not fancy, but a lot of Protoss. The Spider Mobs, the Zealots just eating it. Their lives for ire. Can the Dragoons make it past? A lot of damage is being dealt. There's not that many tanks here. Most of the tanks are... Oh, beautiful storm on the Vultures. Forces them out of position. I didn't even see that Templar in the mix there. I don't know how many other Templar are involved to scan. I think C is also trying to figure that one out. But Rain is breaking through. Is there enough energy for another storm? He just got enough. He can drop it down, and he loses the Templar. But there's another Templar coming up, working towards the production line. More units coming out. Rain doesn't have much more behind this. If he can hold it... Oh, the storm on the SCVs! Well, the units are starting to thin out. The production is not so high that C can just crush this with another wave. He's getting a lot of the tanks, but C is starting to become more and more cost-effective. He finished 2-1. So his tanks are doing terrible, terrible damage, including friendly fire if they're looking at the wrong spot at the wrong time. Armories under attack now. Storm zones out the Vultures, but it's already a little late. The Templar just gliding into the fray. SCVs attacking Templar, successfully killing it. Heroes of the Terran... Are we the Confederacy, or it doesn't really matter? Terran heroes. Meanwhile, the tanks. Inclement weather. There's a rainstorm coming. You best watch out. The tanks battling the Dragoons. The Templar, their work here done. Trying to find someone. Hot Templar near you. Low on energy, but unfortunately, they're not going to get together in time. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. C halts. He's actually only down 7 workers. He lost his upgrades. But he lost a solid chunk of tanks. But he's got the Industrial Revolution going on in his main, so... Overall, while Rain did a lot of damage, if C is allowed to have his economy, and he held it, then he's going to be looking okay. The tank's firing. Looking for an opportunity. That was the last tank here, which means the Dragoons are going to be doing quite well for themselves. Right now, Rain's sitting on +2 attack. Storm. Storm doesn't really clip the tanks, though, so he's going to have to pull back now. Rain's still trying to put a lot on the field, but if you looked quickly at the upgrade tab, shuttles, I believe that's shuttle speed? No, observer speed? I don't know. There's a lot of upgrades. He's getting many of them. Building 2 arbiters. Oh, watch out, watch out. The spider mine's in behind the retreating army. That Templar didn't quite have the energy it needed. The Vultures hunting and scavenging. Another round of spider mines and another round of Dragoons. But the Vultures are going to have to back off. Look for an opportunity over in the bottom right. Rain's up to 5 bases. C has his 4. And you don't mine out nearly as quick as you would in SC2. But now C is starting to mine out of the main. He does have access. There's still a lot of income here. Rain does have most of the rest of the map. So he's going to do his best to deal with that, but the next phase has begun. The Arbiters have arrived. Oh, watch out. They did not watch out. Spider mines, they don't care if you're under a cloaking field. They can detect you by the stomping of your feet. No matter how dainty they are, if they touch the ground, they know. Oh wait, science vessel? I assume EMP is upgraded? Wait a second. The science vessel? Where's the EMP? Oh, I believe I saw stasis being upgraded before. Just the cloaking field is already a pain. Zealot bombs on the tanks here. I think right now. Oh, but Vulture's on the way back. Rain getting flanked. The science vessel just keeping things intact. It provides detection as well. Like, that's part of it. That's a lot of it, actually. And the Vultures are cleaned up, and the supplies are dangerously close to even. What is that? Oh, he's researching EMP. Yeah, well, better late than never. C has now just thrown back the attack. I don't know. I was searching for words, but that was the best defense so far. And Rain, his unit composition doesn't get much better. Like, he has arbiters to try to outmaneuver. The only other step is carriers. And while he's building a dozen goons at a time. He's got like 15 gates in his main. He's got a couple over in the bottom right as well. Some spider mines in an awkward position as Rain continues expanding. They're trying to deny what's left on the map. Armor upgrades, what do we got? We got on the ground +2, +3, and plus... Okay, Protoss has +2 ground weapons with +3 weapons and +1 armor on the way, as well as recall in production. So he didn't actually have it yet. EMP will be done by the time recall is available. Whereas on the other side, +2, +1 vehicle weapons. Those armor is getting sniped hurt a bit. But +3 vehicle weapons is finishing up soon. Rain moving dozens of units across the map. Not the single button maneuver in StarCraft 2. You're limited to 12 units at a time, so just the units on the screen right now. That's like 4 or 5 control groups. I'm not a mathematician, but that looks pretty complicated, even if it's just moving around. You can see the APMs, of course. In the main... Well, both players are going to max out again. So, what is Rain's play? Rain is getting K'Daron Amulet. He's getting more cannons. He's upgrading his army. He's denying a 5th. Okay, I was thinking like, what? What is he doing? He's denying a 5th base. Rain has now decided, well, I'm not going to break him, but I can keep him from breaking me. And oh, here you go. He sees an opportunity. He's ready to pounce. Meanwhile, the Arbiters are well spread to negate... Oh, stasis on the science vessel! Stop right there. No science will be done this day. We don't want to learn how our zealots could use ranged weapons, because then they'd try to overthrow us. Hallucination is being upgraded. I've never seen that in Brood War. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, with the short... Oh, no, watch out, watch out, watch out! The recall right on top! I don't know where the EMP is. Another recall. This feels like it's a disaster. This feels like a terrible idea out of Rain. I mean, he's got... Any damage he can do is good, but, like, that was not much. He just kind of lost... Okay, well... So, how now? It's still in stasis. It's, like, what does it last? Oh, like 3 years. That was... He dragged a lot of units out of position, which might open up an opportunity on the right side. The tanks are unsieged. The science vessel under fire. No arbiters with this. He is on the high ground looking down, but there aren't any zealots in front, which means the tanks are going to start pounding. And they do have +3, which is a lot, as much as they can get. So, that Templar barely survives. But Rain has continued to accomplish his goal of preventing an additional base out of sea. So while it may be incredibly costly, if you have access to nearly 3 times as many bases, You don't have to be as cost effective. Well...
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
It does feel like that was borderline just throwing, though. Those recalls, he killed like 2 tanks, a few dozen vultures, I guess, but vultures are the most easily replaceable part of the army. Oh, whoa. But Rain moves along the right flank, right as he moves out to establish his 5th. That's 1 tank and a bunch of spider mines. Oh, whoa. So he's like, oh, shit. He was not ready for this. The spider mines, well, the zealots will eat the spider mines, but I don't know who that's hurting more. That was, yeah. And don't you even think about coming down that ramp. That's a lot of Templar, but they're not actually really in position because the flank's coming from the back. Those are great storms. Incredible storms. EMP, though, or just damage hits the rest. Sea loses a lot of tanks and a lot of vultures, and those are the trades that Rain is looking for. The problem is, he took this fight as a bit of an awkward situation. He forced the command center to lift. He took this fight on the right side, which means the left side base is now mining. There's not much to defend it at this moment, and Rain immediately refills another army. See, puts himself out there on the map. He's had enough. He feels like he's gotta go. EMP, launched, hits, gets rid of the science vessel. Unfortunately, needs scan for this army. Desperately needs it. Hopefully he has enough, because there's no other detection. Another science vessel comes up. Are there any High Templar here? It doesn't seem like it. Another scan. The science vessel, like, at 1 HP, just throws an EMP out there. See, he's losing a lot of units here. D-Matrix on a tank holds the line. I don't know how much that tank. A stalwart defense. But Rain building a dozen zealots and some goons with a few high tech. Like, the gateways are pumping right now. See, decides he's moving forward. He is mining off 5 bases. He does have still a solid SCV count at 58. Still able to mine from these bases, but Rain, does he have energy? Stasis on some of the tanks. The zealots will close in. And this was optimistic at best. Yeah, a little late on the draw there. Oh yeah, he needs scans as well just to see these units because of the cloaking field, but the zealots are already around the back. See, down 60 supply. Spider mines the zealots will give their lives for. Rain suddenly the only one with really units out here. See, precariously low in the tank count. It does look like Rain's gonna break this base, and with it, like, what else is there left to fall back to? Rain has just... Oh, see, he's just out of here. He's done. That's enough. There's no coming back from that. He lost his tanks, and with it, the game. A dominant performance of Macro Protoss out of Rain. What do you think about the Brood War? Just general thoughts. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Like, Winter, this is live on Twitch. You're not on YouTube, or am I? Check out these videos. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun.